Here from UIH, doing another analysis here and posting up on a redstar 11. We're not going to be watching my run this time so much as some other players. So we'll go ahead and jump straight into it. So I start over here. I'm going to go ahead and clear a basic sector out on the outside because you'll quickly see there are, again, strategy. You're always looking towards making sure that your team, your 4 players, someone or multiple people are covering these center areas. By the time I got my ships jumped in and was ready, these 2 players up top here were already all over the 2 center P11s, so on this center ring here, which just makes, again, they're going to catch destroyers easier and barriers. They're going to be able to destroy them before they become a headache. Who we're really going to be watching here, though, is player Kassad. So he is a Dart Veng user. So you're going to first see him. He's going to jump in an area shield ship with Dart 12 and his Veng 12. He's going to pop on his fortified pretty early, which is expected. Going to let it chew down, obviously, some of his health before he does that, but he's just jumping in a single ship, keeping it simple, barriers up. His darts are just getting totally destroyed by all the interceptors, which is the point. That's why he's using Vengeance. So Vengeance is up. He's now turned on Fortify as well. You can see that Vengeance covered pretty much the entire sector. It wiped out all the Sentinels, all the Guardians, and so on. So now he's got Double Dart, so he's going to be running around with Double Dart, popping the rest of the capitals that are remaining. So the Vengeance is used, as I can tell here. Again, I'm not a Dart user yet, but it looks like the Double Dart method here is simply you use the Vengeance to go ahead and clear all the trash, particularly interceptors, and then simply run around the map after that, cleaning up. So I'll try to see if I can toggle some of his other ships here. He does 1 mass battery ship. Some notable things. His salvage is a little bit higher than most players I see, but it's not out of the ordinary. His area shield is definitely higher, and I think I've heard before that is related to Dart users. You tend to upgrade your area shield. Most barrage users are fine keeping it at Dart 1, at area shield 1, because we don't have darts to protect with the area shield. So at this point, he's heading out. He's now cleared his P11 more or less. He's going to be able to clean off that bomber, no problem, and he can even do it from out of the sector. His mass battery will clean that up. So he's just going off to a moderately populated sector, clearing it up. At this point, he's going to clear this up, wait, and I'm going to fast forward a bit here. Let me cycle through his ships one more time for you so we can have a good look at his loadouts. Suppress 8, pretty common as well. I mean, Suppress in general is just useful, especially for Hydras. Again, so 2 Dart 12s, big area shields, and a single Veng 12. And every ship, interestingly enough, does have Fortify. That is slightly different than the traditional builds I tend to see with the Barrage Bond build. For example, I only have 2 Fortify ships, but it's also because I like to add an extra Suppress. And obviously we need to equip Bond. So at this point now he's trying to bait over he's working on baiting over the Hydra. The Hydra at this point is just within his dart range, but the darts are being targeted obviously by the Hydra, so this isn't working very well. He sent over the Blast Shield, which I found quite interesting. And you can see it's going to get eaten alive here very quickly by these darts because his mass battery ship couldn't clear it. So a little bit different of a strategy than I'm used to seeing. I had anticipated him sending in the mass battery ship with Fortify on. So again, a little bit different. He lost a ship here, not a big deal, but he is going to go ahead and rebuild that ship and bring it back in. We'll see. We'll come back to him in just a minute here. What's interesting here, though, is the Bond Barrage users by now are starting to move on to the next sector. So he's still clearing his Hydra, which is expected. You can see Pure Ice Mocha here has moved on. He's already brought in a Hydra into this new P11. I'm doing the same over here. I brought over my Hydra from my P11, and I'm starting to clear a second P11. This is where Barrage Bond gets its kudos and credit, is for being fast and quick, because you can be clearing a P11 while also clearing your Hydra, where, as you see with Dart users, they're still working over here on killing the first Hydra, and he's not effectively clearing the next sector as well. But again, nothing too out of the ordinary here. You do need overlapping sectors, but Bond's larger range helps with that quite a bit. So at this point, I'm going to speed up a little bit while he clears that up. All right, he's now cleared a full P11, so he's probably going to be starting to look for another P11 since there are 7 of them. If every player takes 1 to begin with, and there are 3 remaining, I took 1 over here, and I'm about to lose the ship pretty hard over here and get into really dangerous territory of a full wipe. Pure Ice Mocha Purple here has already basically cleared his second P11. He's running a little bit faster than I am. And we've got Prometheus over here clearing his second P11. So he's already taken down his Hydra. He's, I'd say, more than halfway done with his P11 over here. The interesting thing as well to watch with Pure Ice Mocha, or excuse me, with Prometheus here, is he is using a Laser Turret 12. So he's still doing a pretty standard barrage build, barrage bond build, but he does throw in a laser turret, which I'm sure he's dropping, and maybe we'll rewind at the end here and just see where he's deploying. At this point, I'm over here simply just trying to keep my ships from fully wiping, jumping in my replacement ship I lost, and now I'm just heading over to this trash sector here to heal. Some of the benefits of the Dart build is, again, you get single Colossus out there, or even a single Hydra. For whatever reason, you can't bond it, take it to another sector with more enemies in it. Again, this is where Dart starts to perform really well. It can clean up lone capital ships pretty easily. We can now see him. He's heading into just a rich sector. All the P11s are taken care of and being focused on. You're going to see him take it off to another sector as well, another just rich sector. So he's going to come over here, pretty standard play right here, take it into an area with the double storms and a Phoenix. Again, pretty standard, keep it hugged in tight. Again, some players will try and, you can put it across with a bond, put it across the sector line, which keeps your Hydra from ramping its barrage, which is really good. I did that a lot at first, but some of the problems you run into is when the Hydralings spawn afterwards, they tend to get further and further and further away from your gun range. So you can see this one, even, again, it's outside of his gun range. He's going to have to move, and I found it's just simpler. Keep them close by, activate fortifies, have area shields ready, and even add some suppresses in. All right, so at this point, he's simply running around clearing. Now the difference is, though, is he's cleared his planet. He's cleared a semi-rich sector, kind of a standard sector, but not a super easy one. He's cleared another rich sector and another rich sector, but the rest of us have been clearing a few more sectors. So Dart is a little bit slower. And a lot of it is just simply because you can't, with Dart builds, you don't want to be taking your Hydra with you. You want to keep your Hydra in the sector it's originally in, keep your other ships outside of it. Usually use your mass battery with a Fortify to tank to keep the Hydra in place. Anyways, nothing too unique about this one anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. At this point, we're just cleaning up the map. And again, this is where Barrage tends to shine just a little bit better, at least in terms of speed. Again, it tends to be faster. Again, I lost a ship over here, so that's why I'm a little bit behind. So nothing too out of the ordinary, but it is my second Hydra. The other 2 second Hydras have already been cleared. So again, I'm running even a little slow, but I lost a ship. And so rebuilding and just coming back into play usually takes a little bit of time. If you have any other questions, let me know. Here's what we'll do real quick, though. I'm going to rewind, and we'll go watch Prometheus, since he's using laser turret. Let's see how he employs his laser turret. So we'll cycle through his ships real quick here. Pretty standard here, very high salvage. Again, look a little bit lower here on the area shield, but that's also pretty common. All right, so we'll zoom in a bit here, see if we can get a little bit closer action. So jumps in, pretty standard build, comes in, trying to target as many capital ships as he can right out of the gate. What I want to watch for, though, specifically is when he drops his laser turret, which I suspect is with the Hydra. So here it is. He has not dropped it yet. We'll speed up. Apologies, looks like my tablet's struggling to render this much at the moment. I'm using the tablet, it just gives a slightly larger view for the replays, so hopefully that makes it a little easier to watch. A little bit larger, so he still hasn't dropped the laser turret, which is what I expected. So now he's going to come in. This is great. This is why you want to take the center sectors. Is again, he's able just to right there clear out multiple destroyers, keeps the pressure off us, and a blast 8 is a pretty sizable blast shield. I think it's just kind of a nice extra cushion. He probably doesn't wipe too often from explosions, if ever. All right, so he's now at the final stage here. Again, he's got two little lone ships in here that are a piece of cake to clear out. He's probably sent his bond. Nope, has not sent his bond ship in. Sent in his mass battery, likely due to all these excess rockets. So now he's taken them out, and Hydra has spawned. He now does have his barrage bond build in. He's going to back it out because of those rockets. Those rockets are going to be troublesome along with the ghosts that are coming in. So this is slowing him down actually a little bit. Pretty standard though. Better to go a little bit slower. Just add an extra RC later than rush it and die. So he's popping his barrier early, again keeping the rockets at a distance, closing in very close. If I'm not mistaken, he teleports right next door here. He sure does. And notice he's trying to grab double storms. That's pretty common as well. So he's going to likely jump in the rest of his ships right behind it now that it's successfully landed. At this point, I would typically be throwing a suppress on. I don't know if I saw suppress on any of his ships, though. There's the laser turret. He's dropped it. So it's going to start to target, ramp up. And looks like it's helping quite a bit here. Starting to ramp up on the Hydrolings. Plenty of stuff. Oh, looks like it died right there. It might have been expired on time. I'm not too sure. I have not unlocked the laser turret myself, but cleared through quite a few capitals there without any problems. All right, if there's anything else you'd all like to see, let me know. We keep my eyes open for other unique builds. I do know that there's one more unique build out there, which is a combination, a hybrid build of barrage plus dart plus mass battery. And I just need to find some people who use it. I also do know some people, instead of like laser turret here, they will add in alpha drones. I've seen remote bombs used. I think it just kind of comes down to player preference at that point, and they're typically used to help hurry up and clear the Hydras, especially the Hydrolings. The faster you kill them, the less damage they can do to you. All right, that's it. Enjoy.